Hey guys, this is Thomas Cocker with the BCA, and today we're going to be talking about design reviews and specifically design reviews on duct sizing. And to start off, you'll want to know whether or not you're dealing with low pressure, medium pressure, or high pressure ductwork. To find that out, you can go to your specifications and that will typically tell you. Another way you can do it, if you can't find it in the specs and you don't want to call the engineer for whatever reason, you can start looking at a few of the main runs of the duct and just see what kind of friction loss they're going for on a few of the ducts. And if they're very consistent, then you can determine it based on that. But ideally, if it's not specified anywhere, then, just put in a call to the engineer and ask them what they're sizing their duct work for. Is it going to be low pressure, medium pressure, high pressure? The two main ones that you're going to be seeing are low pressure or medium pressure, and low pressure being the majority of that. So if it's low pressure, it's going to be a 0.08 friction loss. And if it's medium pressure, it's going to be about a 0.2. And then you can check the ductwork based on that. I have a picture here of Duct Designer by Cook. I really like this one. Train has their own. I think they call theirs the Ductilator. And in general terms, most people just refer to these little charts as ductilators. But nowadays they have applications, for Android and iOS that you can download and you can plug in the numbers there. I still like using these. I think they're a little faster than the applications. You can also do it straight off your computer. A lot of people have Excel files that can do it. But I like these guys. And basically the way that you're going to do it is you have your friction loss over here. From this picture, you can see the 0.08, right? And that's where you would use to size your ductwork. So you just line that line up, and then you're seeing that you can do 1100 CFM at 0.08. And you can choose a rectangular duct from any one of these sizes. You just line them up. So a 6x40, usually you don't have a duct that thin and that wide, depending on your plenum space. But yeah, you could do a 20x10, or it determines what kind of duct diameter you need. So generally, if you're over, you want to, if you're in the odd numbers, you want to go to the even. So then you would pick a 16 on this one. So let's go over a few examples. So if we have this project, I recommend going through your mains at least, because obviously they're your biggest pinch points. If you can't get through your mains, you won't get to your boxes, and vice versa. You won't get back to your unit. So let's start on the exhaust air for this ERU1, which is an energy recovery unit. So the air is coming back to the energy recovery unit, and they're saying that they need a 36x20 to deliver the air back to the unit. So I have here the schedule for this unit, which is ERU1. And then this is the supply air, which is not what we're looking at. We're looking at the exhaust, and they actually list a minimum exhaust flow of about 6,700 and a max exhaust flow of 8,600. So we're going to size, obviously, our ductwork for the max flow. So then let's just double check these numbers. So a 36x20. So what kind of flow can a 36x20 do at that 0.08 friction loss? So you'll start to line it up, and you do that 36x20, which is, you can go either way. So I'm just going to pick this one, which is 35. So you're just going to go like a little notch ahead, because, it's just barely past that. You have 5 points in between here, and you're just going to go barely past, draw this line all the way up here, and you're practically at 20, right? So when you've lined that up, then you come over here and see what that 0.08 lines up with. And so you have 6,000, you're a little ahead of that. So maybe you're at 6,100. So that means 6,100 CFM is the ideal CFM or lower to flow through that ductwork. And we have 8,600 flowing through. So we have an issue, right? And so that's a quick catch. You're over 2,000, you're trying to flow over 2,000 CFM more through that ductwork than you should. And so that's a question to the engineer, or you log it in your issues log and send it to the engineer. Okay, now let's look at the outside air run. So your outside air is a 24 by 50. So if we go to the schedule and see what they want to get through that 24 by 50. So we're going to our supply fan. You got a max supply airflow of 11,000 roughly CFM. So we'll go to our ductilator and line that up. So we have a 24 by 50. So here's 50 roughly at the 24 line. And then we look what 0.08 can do, and look just above 1100 or 11,000 CFM. So it's sized correctly. So we only have an issue on the exhaust side, but we caught it, right? And hopefully we caught this before the shop drawings came out and they've already ordered ductwork, right? But more importantly, before they start installing it. Let's go through one more example. So for a round duct, if you have like this box, you have its discharge, it's discharging to a 12-inch round. You're just going to add up all the CFM along this duct run, which is the 375, 75, and 150 equals 600 CFM. So let's see if that's sized correctly. So then we go to our ductilator. We're going to move until our duct diameter is at that 12, and we'll see the CFM that we can flow through it at 0.08, which is just over 600. So then this one would be sized correctly. So we're good there. So as you can see, based on what we found, we had two sized correctly, one sized incorrectly. And this, make no mistake, is a big deal. 2000 CFM undersized or 2500 CFM undersized. It would be tough for that unit to speed up and get that. That may be a fan change because it might overamp once it finally gets the CFM. So you may have to change out the fan, the motor, which may even require wiring changes, or you may change out the ductwork. Huge cost if this is already installed. So do it as early as you can. And this will save you time, because something like this more than likely will delay the project months, if not maybe even a year. I've seen in the past. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. And remember, when it comes to duct sizing, never, under any circumstances,